What's up guys, Jim with Fusion Grill. So I've been thinking about what to cook next and kind of want to do something a little different than the classic smoking and low and slow. I was thinking about some of the stuff that I grew up eating, and being Filipino American, my parents, they would make the Filipino pork skewers, such a really good dish. I didn't, until I got into cooking, as I learned more about it, I didn't know what it was, but I just remember the flavors were just so awesome. So we're gonna cook that today. I went to Costco and I bought 2 pork shoulders for $30, so they come out to about 15 a piece. And we're just gonna do one for today. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it up into about 1-inch cubes and then put it into a marinade. And you wanna let it sit for about 6 hours or more and put them on skewers, and we're gonna grill them, and it's gonna be fantastic. So what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna cut it into about inch cubes. I stated earlier, I didn't know how this was made. I didn't know anything about what cuts of meat were being used. And then I learned that it was used with pork, specifically the shoulder part. And if you want to even get more specific, kind of the leaner part, which is what we call the pork butt here in the US. The nice thing about this particular shoulder that I bought at Costco, it is boneless. And so that makes it easier. The last one I made was bone-in, and I had to kind of really cut around the bone. Try to avoid hacking it with this nice knife. I love this knife. This is a breaking knife by Dalstrong. Really enjoy it. Just slices through. So now we're gonna start to making them into cubes. This is a pretty good meal to cook because it's fairly, I think, fairly cheap for a whole pork shoulder. 15 bucks compared to other cuts of meat. You can feed a lot of people. And then you add that with rice, vegetables, any other side, and this can really go a long way. I did one of these recently, and I cooked for about like 50 people, and it fed all of them. And granted, we had some other dishes as well, but they really liked it. I had one of my family members who had never had it before. They were like, wow, I've never had any flavor like this. I love sharing these recipes and having other people experience it, never had it, and love teaching them the recipe, and I'm sharing it with you guys so you guys can give it a try. So as I'm cutting this up, guys, you probably noticed that I have one glove and gloveless on the other hand. I kind of got this idea from Aaron Franklin, but I really do like having the one glove, one hand setup, just because having the no glove on the other hand allows for a little bit more dexterity, and then I can kind of get really in there with the meat and cutting it up. So I am a left-handed cook. I do right with my left. I shoot basketball with my left, but I use scissors with my right. I don't know why. I think I had to adapt. And then even if I tried cutting with my left hand with scissors, it doesn't even feel the same. It feels so weird. So now that we've cut up the pork, it's time to make the marinade. I've been trying different things for this. Right now I've kind of landed on these ingredients, and I'll probably continue to change and try different things. But for the first ingredient, we're gonna need banana ketchup. You can get this at an Asian market. I went to a 99 Ranch here in Houston. We are gonna use a cup of this banana ketchup. And then you're gonna also wanna use 7-Up. This acts as a tenderizer for the meat, helps break it down. I'm gonna use a cup of 7-Up. Lots of different types of soy sauces out there, but I really like the Filipino brand, Datu Puti. So we are gonna use a cup of that. And then for vinegar, also gonna use that. We're gonna use Datu Puti vinegar. It's gonna be a half a cup. Also, we're gonna use some oyster sauce. This is gonna be a 1/4 cup of oyster sauce. Again, all these things I end up buying at 99 Ranch. This one helps. This is one thing I've tried. This is a newer kind of ingredient that I use. It's like chili oil with black bean, 2 tablespoons. Let's put that in there. Gives it a little punch, gives it a little kick. Check this out. This was kind of a challenging ingredient to find in the store, but I found it. Big old bottle. And we're gonna use 2 teaspoons of pepper. We're gonna use a cup. I know it sounds like a lot, but I've tried it. Didn't feel like the garlic overpowered it, but a cup of minced garlic, chopped. And then finally, we got brown sugar. Sweeten that up more. And we're just gonna mix it all together. So we've made the marinade, and now we're gonna add the cubed pork shoulder to the marinade. And I typically like to go for 6 hours or more. You can do it overnight. So we're back. It's been 6 hours since we've marinated the meat. Check that out. Look how nice it is. So now we're gonna go ahead and thread the skewers. Little tip here, so the skewers don't burn, ideally if you could set the skewers in like a shallow pan, anything with water for about 20 minutes. That way the skewers can soak up the water and not burn on the grill. Here we go. We'll just start threading the meat on the skewer. Lots of good memories cooking these, tasting this as a kid. The other thing I like to make is a glaze, and this glaze is going to be comprised of banana ketchup, some oyster sauce, and some sesame oil. So what we're going to do is use half a cup of the banana ketchup, and then we're going to use a 1/4 cup of oyster sauce, and then we're going to use some 1½ tablespoons of the sesame oil. Mix it up a little bit. You can choose when you want to put it on. I typically like to put the glaze on after I sear the meat. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've been using my Kamado Joes for all my cooks. This is a special shout out to my brother who gave this to me before he moved back to Seattle. This is a Weber Performer, great grill. I highly recommend using a Weber kettle style grill when you're first starting out. So what I did is I set up the grill with the indirect 2-zone cooking. I have the coals banked to one side of the grill, and then I have the indirect side for more of convection cooking. I'm gonna get the grill up to about 350, 400. Right now it's a little above 400. That's where I like to cook it at. And then what I'm gonna do is just start to put the skewers on. Oh, what a great sound. Beautiful sound. And we're gonna do about 3 minutes aside. After about 2 or 3 minutes, you're gonna wanna rotate and flip it. See, we got a nice little char right there. There we go, guys. You'll get times when the sticks break, unfortunately. You just work with it. And once they get to the sear that you like, go ahead and move it to the indirect side. Once the grill starts to free up, you're gonna wanna add more. So just take some of them, start to put them in place, and then rotate these off. I kind of make sure that I gotta like the char. I don't want to burn it. I like some char on it. And then set it off to the side. Once I put the skewers to the side, that's typically when I want to hit them with this glaze, because I'm going to finish them off with some convection heat. I'm going to rotate them a little bit so that way I can hit that other side for the glaze. All right, 145 degrees Fahrenheit is what I'm going for. I'll check in about 10 minutes or so. It's been about 10 minutes. Let's take a look. Oh, look at that. Look, they look great. These are done. Let's take them off. Let them rest for a little bit. Get ready for your guests to be really happy. This is a good time, guys, to start to kind of clean the grill when it's hot. I've been using this stuff. This is Citrus Safe. I bought this at Lowe's. Spray it on the grill when I'm done. It's a lot easier to clean it when it's hot. We're all done. Here it is. We got our rice, jasmine rice. We got our pork skewer. Let's give it a try. That is amazing. It's all about that bite. So what you're getting with that skewer is you're getting this nice, sweet, a little bit of heat from that marinade. And it's just very tender. And it's just all these flavors in your mouth. And then I love that balance. It's just what I did growing up. Having that rice to kind of offset that and balance out that flavor. It's just great. Good, sweet jasmine rice. So